quick.
Sorry I'm late, I just don't give.
Hey, yo, rock with the best known unknown podcast on the internet. It's Late to Work, as always, live in the ears. Back from a little bit of a hiatus with episode actually 33. I think we said 33 on 32 like multiple times.
Did it? Oh,
yeah.
Man.
And I listened back and I was like, damn, we gotta stop smoking weed. But as always, it's your boy Money Mitch, aka King Lear, aka the Mixed Skin Messiah, aka Daddy Longstroke, the motherfucking clitoris wrangler, aka Spike Francesa, the podcast pope, aka the light skin Lord of the Flies, aka the dreadhead nigga in your lobby, aka your everyday entrepreneur. Or you can find me at Mitch Gaines with a Y, because I'm a little bit gay, on all your preferred social media platforms, IG, Twitter, whatever you prefer. I'm here rocking with my right hand man, the funniest man in Rhode Island. It's
only Chris Allen, most importantly, the young OG, Black Hank Moody, Sweet James Jones Jr., your only one Midwest half, man.
I feel like the young OG is like the perfect graceful segue into like old manhood. Like 30, like mid 30s, like through mid 40s, you can be the young OG. I feel like once you're like 48, you're definitely the OG.
Yeah, you just OG. Yeah,
like you ain't the young OG dog. But like I feel like that's a good look. I like that. I'm looking forward to that. Like 8 years of my life. No offense, I'm still the old young G right now. I'm still acting out of pocket for 28.
I enjoy, like, there's aspects of, like, we live in a culture where, like, getting older is, like, frowned upon, but
I feel like after a certain point, like there's a peak age. What's peak age?
Peak age for me was, like, 28, I feel like, where, like, I was, like, starting to make good, like, a solid amount of money. Like, I wasn't worried about going out and so forth like that. Like, the women and so as women were, like, at their peak where, like, you can date women from, like, you know, early 20s to, like, late 30s, and, like, you were attracted to them, and then your relationships with them were much better. But you also had a different level of confidence. You didn't care about the other shit, like all the immature stuff as much. You started getting a little bit more knowledge and perspective on who you are. So that was, for me, like, where I was
really just like broke down exactly where I'm at in life. That's terrifying.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that. I mean, just for me,
I'm not dating. The girl's also 28.
For me, that was like the best position. But like as I'm getting better as I'm getting older, like mentally, you're getting a lot more disciplined. I mean, like,
do you feel like there's a fall, because you were talking like as a society how we feel about it? Is there like, do you think there's a fall off socially at some point? Because I feel like, especially if you're not married and you don't have kids, by like probably I'd say late 30s, but if we're being like fair all around the bro, probably about 41, 42. Like if you're single, no kids, no like, and you're 42 and you're not like balling out, then everyone in the society just looks at you funny. Male or female, I feel like you're done.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent. I mean, but it's also like our generations and it's starting at my generation. My generation and like later generations are starting to get married a lot later. So I think currently you're dealing with that, but I don't think that.
I also think in our generation we're going to see 40-year-olds be a lot fitter. Like,
yeah.
You see this with athletes now, right? Everybody's like, oh my God, how is Tom Brady still playing? How is LeBron playing at this level, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, we just know how to take care of our bodies better now. I treat my body like shit by modern standards, and I'm still going to be probably pretty fit well into my late 30s.
Yeah.
Because that's the generation now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I grew up 50 years ago, I'd probably be dead by now.
Yeah. I think that we're like in this generation where, well, like still like we're praising a lot of young stuff, but I feel like there's a lot. I mean, look at like some of our top celebrities. They're older. J-Lo's still rocking. The Rock, Jay-Z, Kanye. I mean,
to your point, like we found a way to extend celebrity, right? Like celebrities used to die because they were all like drug addicted and in terrible shape and lived very stressful lives and got fucked over by management companies. Now it's like celebrities own the management companies. They fucking make billions upon not billions upon, but millions upon millions, double digit to triple digit millions of dollars. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that.
But and then the newer celebrities are awful too.
Oh,
Like
God.
a lot. I mean, a lot of them are awful. Like, I mean, even you look at like the newer rappers, like the Tekashi 6ix9ines and like the Trippie Reds and the Lil Zanes and the Lil Pump. I mean, they're just it feels fly by night. It just feels so unauthentic and so forth. So like, I don't know. I
feel like and I'm certainly guilty of this. And maybe this is the exact generational gap between me and you. Is like, I feel like in my generation, there started to be a deterioration. In younger generations, there just isn't any sense of like having to earn it. Mm-hmm. Like, you feel entitled to a certain degree. Like, if I'm a rapper now, with all the mediums I have to get my music out there, like, cool. Like, I recorded 15 tracks. I'm on 13 different platforms. Like, why aren't I getting noticed? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you feel like entitled to that, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's not really how this shit goes. Like, boy, can I tell you, recording a podcast. You know what I mean? It's, like, we certainly don't have millions and millions upon, like, listens. You know what I mean? And it's like, kids these days, like, don't understand that. Like, because you have instant access to an audience at all times. You can be on Snap, you can be on Insta Live, you can be on YouNow, you can be on Musical.ly, you can be on whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Yeah. And somebody will be listening to you. So all of a sudden, like, the idea of somebody telling you you're not worth being paid attention to startles them like nothing else.
Yeah.
And that's just, like, that's the culture now, and that's sad.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll evolve into, something that's at least manageable or digestible as far as cultural and media. But right now we're in this weird stage where we're like digesting like the newer celebrities and content creators. Like, some of them are cool, a lot of them are trash. We deal with some of them, we digest them, but we're still hanging on to a lot of these like our traditional like famous people and actors and models and so forth. I
feel like there's a multitude of factors. Part of it is like older celebs don't get out of the way naturally like they used to.
Oh, no.
Part of it is like the ones who are supposed to just cling on too long and can. Mm-hmm. I think part of it is like we just know more about celebrities now. Mm-hmm. So like I'm sure every celebrity who's 40 and killing it now was just as much of a fuckboy when they were 17.
They
just weren't on the internet.
Exposed, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, go back and listen to anyone rapping when they were 16. The nicest rappers, homie. The fucking white dude from up here, Token. Everybody loves Token. He did that track with Joel Ortiz, and everybody fucking fell in love with him. Spits his ass off. He was 16, 17 years old when that record came out. You know what I mean? He's still a fucking kid. Like, he's still some dumb bars, and that's no diss on him.
Yeah.
That's everybody who raps. Then you get older and you get wiser and your music gets better. Royce's new project is immaculate. You know what I mean? It took him a while to get all the way there. He's been great the whole way. It just keeps getting better. That's how maturity works.
Yeah, Royce's new project is fire.
I'm blown away. I was half of it, and I'd repeated some of these songs. I didn't get a chance to get through.
I was mad how much Joe and those talked about it on their podcast, because I was like, oh yeah, like I'm about to just drop this on the pod next time, because and I should have known like Slaughterhouse Connection he was going to talk about it. But I was like, man, this was a dope album. I listened to it while I was traveling, and I was like mad because I was listening to on Apple iTunes, and I was like, shit, I gotta get on this plane. I tried to download it so I can listen to it again while I was on the plane. It just wasn't fast enough.
Wi-Fi in the airport wasn't strong.
Yeah, but man, the album was fire. Yeah, but I don't think newer artists are gonna get that chance to like grow and develop their sound like that. It's so much content out there. They're gonna be digested. If they don't have hot shit, they're gonna be out of there.
Well, in that vein, we can talk about one young man who's got some hot shit right now.
Yeah.
In every corner of the fucking entertainment industry. First questions first. Is Childish Gambino the most talented person in entertainment right now? Because it feels that way.
Yeah. I mean, Joe and them were just having the same conversation, and I've always put him in this conversation as most talented since like before people were like on like some people were just getting on the Childish Gambino and / Donald Glover, but like I was always like since his Community and his like second mixtape, I was like, yo, this guy is the most talented guy out there. And I would say, I mean, it's just him. And there's like the only argument is like him, Drake, Will Smith, Jamie Foxx, and I mean that's it. And I think besides him, it would go down to him and Jamie Foxx, because
in a weird way, not to derail this conversation, but would The Rock be in that conversation?
No,
as like a multifaceted entertainer.
He wouldn't be in there that conversation just because he doesn't do anything. But he acts, he wrestles, which is a form of acting, and I mean he does comedic acting. But like you're looking at like he gets blown out of the way with like.
No, well, I'm saying he also does like a lot of like I guess that's not like creative.
Yeah,
never mind.
because like look at like
he's a better businessman about it.
Yeah, when you're talking about like a Jamie Foxx or like a Childish Gambino, you're talking about acting.
Oh no, I get that. I'm trying to think of if there's
stand
people.
Up, like,
I feel like the secret, like the cheat code to that is right, like acting, stand up, music, and dancing. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to. What's interesting about Gambino's new video, everybody, and we'll get into this, and there's a lot of like beautiful things to say about it, and it's a fucking perfect piece of art. Like, boy, do I love to hate on shit. Anyone who's been listening for 33 episodes know that. Mm-hmm. But like, this is hard to dislike. But one of the things I think, ironically, that it proved is like he can do all the dancey dance shit too. Yeah. Like he's clearly like what first turned me on to Donald Glover was him as a stand-up comedian. I didn't even watch Community for a long time, so I got put onto his stand-up. Really thought he was a funny guy. Always thought it was like a step behind as a rapper, and then really came along after like I listened to more of him. Mm-hmm. Latest project was fucking crazy, a whole different scheme, like one of the best pieces of music I'd heard in a long time. Mm-hmm. And so I was curious, like, what was missing from him going over the top? And then all of a sudden, in the course of like a year and a half, it's like, okay, he got back on TV with like some real like creative control. Yeah. Atlanta's crazy. Yeah. He lands a Star Wars gig. I'm like, what's missing? And then all of a sudden, like, he needed something musical that was also visual. I feel like was the one missing piece. And this was honestly,
I disagree. I think he had a large majority of this. I think it took culture to catch up to him. Culture's always late. The people are always late.
I agree.
Masses is always late. By the time he dropped his, I think it's his third mixtape. What's the name of this project? He was already. I mean, musically, he was already doing. So by like the Childish Gambino EP, by the time that dropped, he had crafted his sound. He was doing something different. He was embracing that kind of nerdy. Now he wasn't as confident as he is now, to where like it seemed like some of his music he was trying to like pull in the hip hop community and like embrace the fact that he was different, but still impress like this like hip hop urban crowd. Now he's just like, yo, I'm just be me. He's like in that Kid Cudi zone where he just be him and you can judge it. Yeah, and then. But but at that point, I mean, he has already been like killing. Like his music at that point, I was like, yo, this dude it was dope. And like you could know he dropped that one single that was kind of upbeat. It was on, I want to say, Kevin Durant commercial. And everyone was like, holy shit, what was this? And that was when, like, musically he was on point. But at that point, he was already writing for 30 Rock. Mm-hmm. He was already on Community. He had already dropped a weirdo comedy special. He was already...
That's a legendarily underrated special.
Exactly. So this is all dropped in, I say this is 2000 and... I think it's 2000, yeah. Probably at 14 at latest. So... He's all. I mean, at that point, and this is how long it takes culture to like catch up. Because at that point, I was like, "Oh, this dude is fucking dope," and like he's doing it for like nerdy black dudes. And I was like, "Dude, this dude is dope." And I was like, "It's gonna be a travesty if no one catches under this."
I remember that wave coming along, and that was kind of like the rise of Odd Future, and that was Little Baby still popping. Yeah. And there was a real like. Weird black people move that happened for like 2 or 3 years. Yeah. Lupe Fiasco, like you had a lot of shit that happened in like probably not even 2 or 3, probably like a 4 to 5 year window there. Mm-hmm. And I remember just thinking like, I wonder who like emerges from this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Tyler the Creator probably should have like ended up somewhere bigger than it did. We can all agree on Kid Cudi, like Lupe Fiasco. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of dudes from that era. Like you're just like. Never rose to the place I thought they'd be, and then you look at a guy like Lil B who had these same bubbles you see the SoundCloud kids get now 10 years ago. So you saw all this coming. I just didn't know who would be the ones at the finish line. Yeah. Looking back, it's hard not to have seen Gambino being the guy, right?
Yeah. Like he was gonna do it one way or the other.
Yeah, everybody must feel stupid looking back. Like I'm not trying to be the hipster. I was ahead of the wave guy. I think I was right in with the wave, who was maybe ahead of the current. But like, I don't know. Like it took me a while to get on board. But like, yeah, by about 2016 or so, like I was like, yeah, this kid's a fucking genius, and I've yet to be disappointed. Do you want to talk in depth about the video? I feel like I wouldn't do it great justice, but like there's so much perfect imagery. But like my favorite thing is right out the gate, the fucking Uncle Ruckus eye. I don't know if anyone out there are Boondocks fans. Like I grew up reading the Boondocks. I gave one of my first girlfriends a Boondocks book as a gift. You know, I love the Boondocks. So that shit was like perfect to me. All the fucking Jim Crow imagery, like the just gory fucking violence of it. And then, I don't know. It was a crazy fucking video.
I think it's been beaten a little bit already. I think we should discuss like a couple of the aspects that are being debated. So like so I heard like Charlemagne and some other people and also like Michael B. Jordan were discussing like the visual of Childish Gambino being the person who shoots like the choir members and all these other people. A lot of people were arguing with the fact that this shouldn't have been Childish Gambino shooting these people. They should have had like a white actor shoot them in order for them to frame the fact that like it's not black on black violence, which people are misinterpreted. It should be. It should be, it shouldn't be like Childish. It should be like an actor shooting this to represent the fact that like black people aren't doing these mass shootings. It's mostly white males doing it. How do you feel about that argument and that criticism that he's receiving?
This may be me overthinking it to justify somebody I like, so feel free to call me on it if it is. The way I interpreted that is part of the travesty of the Charlestown church shooting, in my opinion, is like, I guess had a reaction at the time, right? But in retrospect, I feel like in general, violence against black bodies is often accepted and overlooked in America as part of the American landscape, right? Like black people dying is so common that like we can all become outraged even when it's here or there, one mass shooting or another, gang violence in Chicago, whatever people want to point to. But, like, nobody really gives a shit about black people dying. That's the sad truth of it. I think that's what he's trying to illustrate. And I think that's, like, multiplied when it's a black person committing the act. Nobody's paying attention. And the whole idea of the video is, like, the underlying current is all of this violence, all of this mayhem is taking place, and it's all taking like action against black people and black bodies, and we're all dancing and snapping through it because it's the only way we know to survive. But please recognize that this is the real reality that you're all not like actually crediting as real. And so I don't know. I guess like I said, this may be a reach to justify it, but like that's my take on it. Is like it's kind of continuing that underlying theme that like no matter like even in a place of worship, we can all like the right is always screaming from a rooftop how we need to exemplify Christianity and like religious freedom and all these things, right? And it's the like kind of pounding that into our heads. It's like, yeah, that might be true for y'all, but like if we come in and like a bunch of black people die in a church and it's a headline on CNN and then we kind of just sweep it under the rug and Dylan Roof was a troubled child, right? Let's take him out for Burger King. And that's that. And that's what I got out of that. But I could see how other people like took that a certain type of way. Yeah,
I can understand the criticism, especially like that seems to be like Charlemagne especially will like pick apart certain things like that. But it's hard.
I love to drive home one point.
Yeah, I think it is when you're using. I can understand the criticism, but I think it was a symbolism, and I think it's a very hard thing to land and maintain. And I think he was representing something that was more than black and white. It was a symbol of he represented more than something that should be. It's a hard balance, and I think him in that video represented more than just like color, black and white. It represented.
The
America, yeah, exactly.
And that was one of the cool, beautiful parts of that to me. Also, is like the point is, like, America is supposed to be this place where this all blends together and we're all one people. And so it kind of gave off this vibe that, like, he's this one person, this one American. And, like, this one American is, like, trapped in this, like, Jim Crow way, this Jim Crow body, this Jim Crow styling, and, like, can't escape this Jim Crow life that was built into the society around him, despite being an American, despite having all the freedoms of being an American. And that's, like, I don't know, like, as somebody who's very fuck yeah pro-American, like, that's a tough pill to swallow, but, like, that's real.
And I would love to hear him be interviewed. I can't wait till he starts to do press for his actual album. If he does, I am not sure, but I assume that if he's smart, he'll drop it around Star Wars. Yeah, that would be or the Han Solo.
Put a track on the Star Wars soundtrack.
It would be smart. I mean, why mess up all that free press?
Backs on
what you Star Wars is gonna put them on stuff, you might as well drop it. And he's touring now too. So
related? Did you see who he's touring with? Who's opening for him?
No, I didn't see that.
Who's my favorite fucking rapper right now out of the new kids?
Black?
Oh, that'd be dope. But no, Vince Staples.
Oh, word? Oh,
yeah. And I am amped. That's a show I want. Tickets for that are going to be crazy. I don't know if I can justify that, but like, I would like to.
They weren't that crazy. They were like, when I checked for Boston, they were like $60, $65.
Really?
Like,
I'm not about to for me and my girl.
I thought about this.
Childish Gambino, you can bring your girl to, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I mean. He covers all the bases. Like, he raps, he'll be funny, he'll do some romance shit, he'll do some R&B, he'll do some pop, he'll do some rock, he'll, like, give you a stand-up set, 15 minutes in there, you know what I mean? Like,
he doesn't do stand-up anymore.
But, like, I feel like that's a great show in general.
Back to the visual. I look forward to hearing what he says about it, and instead of, like, interpreting it, after the fact and from the third party. I just want to hear what he says and his decision making, because there's always a gap between the audience and the artist for what they're trying to articulate in the fullness of it, and what the audience consumes and regurgitates. So I'm interested to see how he feels about what he was exactly like. This is exactly what I'm. If he does it, some people, he seems like a guy who's like, no, just do it. Take it as you want to take it.
I feel like he'll be that way, and like he'll be very specific about like a handful of things. Like, somebody's gonna ask him a very pointy question one day, and I'll be like, nah, it was exactly that.
Yeah,
but it'll be like one thing, and then the rest of us will be like, well, what about the rest? And never get those answers.
Yeah, which maybe the conversation is all that we needed from it. It won't change. It's America. We're a long way from changing anything.
Are you happy music videos are back?
I don't think they're back in the full form of it.
I think it's evolved. I think it's I feel like to put out a good music video now is like, it's almost like a short film project. Like, to get it recognized, like, we talked about Joyner Lucas is on that shit. We talked about God's Plan. We talked about like, there's like a wave where like, with the right production value and the right storytelling, like a good video now, because we're all used to video content. We're on Instagram all day, we're on Snapchat, like we're seeing like videos all the time. Mm-hmm. So now like a great music video, like I'll really sit down and be like, all right, like I'll give this 4 minutes.
I think it's starting to come back, but like I still think it's a singles like big song led industry still. But I think that like if you can pull it off, a good video matters. But we're just starting to see these trends with the Joyner Lucas, with the God's Plan, with this.
This goes back to Lemonade. That really kicked that shit off.
Yeah,
Frank Ocean.
Which one of Frank Ocean's?
We're still talking about. Niggas love Frank Ocean's visuals. I'm just trying to give credit to niggas. People gonna get mad at me for
niggas was tossing out whack videos for a long time.
That's what I mean, though. It was for a long, long time. And I feel like in the past like year, 18 months maybe. Like,
because you're not getting those $1 million Busta Rhymes, P Diddy videos.
Cardi videos kind of look like that. Cardi videos remind me of Busta Rhymes videos.
Yeah, and you can.
Or Nicki videos.
The Nicki and Cardi and Migos videos kind of has that Busta feel.
But Migos in general got a Busta feel. Yeah, dreads in a lot of colors, bro.
Oh yeah, they had a dope video too. Their t-shirt video was sick.
Oh yeah,
and then the Bad and Bougie was just typical shit. 2 Chainz has always continued to keep popping videos moving forward. But besides that, a lot of people are just tossing out videos because you can make them for like with an iPhone or like a $3,000 budget, and you can get like
find this on YouTube.
Exactly. But now, I mean, if you have a message and you're doing something creative, then like people are rocking with it.
Yeah, I mean, as it should be, and like I'm glad more and more creators get recognized. It's interesting to see how the platform shifts.
Shout out to Billie English, I think her name is. She dropped some, dude. Her videos are sick. She just dropped a new.
Didn't we intro a podcast with her?
Yeah.
What episode was that? So we can go back and find that.
I forget.
You're killing me.
My memory is shit.
But no, she's dope.
She just dropped a video with Khalid too, and it's pretty.
How do you pronounce his name? Is it Khalid? Khalid, I think. Okay. I have no idea. She's on the Black Panther soundtrack too.
Oh yeah.
She got a track with Vince Staples. That's how I heard her.
Yeah, she's sick. Yeah,
she had a Mary Hill remix I really like. Yeah. She got a lot of dope shit out.
She's young. She's beast. She's cute. She's the next pop star.
We'll see. I hope so. I'll be pumped.
I see it coming, man. She got all it takes, and she writes her own music with her brother and shit. So that shit ain't going nowhere.
That's true. Speaking of pop stars, I know we took a couple weeks off, so we missed the boat. Do you want to talk about Kanye? I know we're tight for time.
Yeah, I think
we gotta touch on it.
We gotta touch on it.
Okay. Where do you want to start with Kanye? I'm so disappointed.
Here, I gotta take since we are attacking this a little bit late. I am going to give Kanye. I'm going to take an awkward position on Kanye. I think that Kanye is attempting to do something good in articulating his position. He's just making a blunder of it. A lot of things he's saying and a lot of things he's trying to. He's just not just that good of a communicator to where he can articulately vocalize what he feels and make people, a mass audience who dissecting every word, understand it. And I think that from a lot of his statement, I don't even think he meant slavery was a choice. I think he just said it wrong. It was out there, and and then he didn't have the words to exactly express what he was saying. And then there's this extended.
No, I've seen the extended,
which like makes it further. It kind of further supports that I think he had a bigger picture with what he was saying. He's fucking up, man. He just doesn't. He wants to be so like a genius and so forth, but like. He doesn't know how to articulate himself like a Sam Harris or a Jordan Peterson, and he should spend time with these guys before like spewing his ideals. And that's one of the things that I love about Jordan Peterson is that like a guy that takes a lot of controversial points, he does not. It's very rare. I don't think I ever seen him like say something that he's like, oh yeah, I regret saying that. Everything that he said, he has thought about it and overanalyzed it, and then he speaks. Kanye speaks off the hip and off the cuff, and the reason why he enjoys Donald Trump, because Donald Trump does this, takes it and keeps on moving. But when you're Kanye, man, just take some time. Like, I wish he would sit with like a Jordan Peterson or with like a Sam Harris and just like.
I don't, because I don't think like those types of people are wired differently than one another. You know what I mean? Like, Kanye is not supposed to be somebody who's like hit. Did you watch the Charlamagne interview with him?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the first thing I saw before everything else. Mm-hmm. And in that, I agree with you. I learned a lot about his vision, if you will, about like what he's trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. And I think he's up to some really great things. Mm-hmm. He talked about like wanting to develop a lot of his land into like various homes, use that real estate to start like backing like the Yeezy brand as a humanitarian brand, and like doing like disaster relief funds, like all sorts of really like great progressive like circumventing like the bullshit bureaucracy, great ideas. One of the problems I have though is like, and I guess it's on the same tip you're saying, is like, I don't think so. You take the slavery was a choice thing that everybody obviously is like up in arms about. I agree with you. I don't think that's what he meant to say, or rather, I think that's what he meant to say. I just don't think he understood that he needed to like provide his context to what he was saying. Like when you hear him explain it out, it still doesn't make very much sense because the man speaks in circles. To your point, like, he doesn't know how to like
articulate.
Yeah, take it all in. Yeah. But I don't think he'd ever be able to in a setting like that. I think he has like a very high level of anxiety. I think large groups of people, I think fame and stardom in general really just freak him the fuck out. And so when you put him in front of a billion cameras in a room with 45 people, like, he always says something dumb. Yeah. And I think that's just him. But I think part of that is, hey, like, I don't want to sound like I'm defending it because, like, I'm pretty fed up and over Kanye. But I think part of him is really like feeling out ahead of people and expecting them to have already be there with him. I think his take on like the slavery was a choice thing was like some people are choosing to currently live in this slave mentality. You know, there's a lot of discussion, and I don't subscribe to a lot of this, but a lot of people believe in this like slave mentality or victimhood mentality, and like that's what's repressing people who are from oppressed communities. I think there's a certain amount of that, some truth. Like it's all, everything's a balance there. So I think that's what he's getting to the core of is like there are people who became institutionalized, and like we forget, and we've said in this podcast many times. Everybody forgets that like legalized segregation types of oppression, like you can beat niggas in the street for being on the wrong side of the street, using the wrong like fountain, going to the wrong restaurant, ended 60 years ago. You know what I mean? So there's still like living people and descendants of who like grew up in those eras where like it takes generations, just like anything else, to like break down institutions. It's like if you were 5 generations slave and you're 2 generations free, like which mentality do you think dominates the household? You know what I mean? And so like a lot of those things I agree with, but he's not articulating that.
He's not.
And like at a certain point, like you're right, you're accountable for that. And I don't want him to be like some media trained, like because I don't think he'd have these same ideas. You know what I mean?
And but if you look, if like you want to take,
he's got to pick his spots better.
He does. But because like if someone's like, yeah, slavery it was a choice, it was like it's true. Because it's slavery or death. So, I mean, you can't... I mean, but he's not looking
I guess that depends how you define choice. If the only other choice is death...
then it's not a choice. Exactly. I mean? So, I mean...
It's like... we talk about this with, like, sexual consent all the time, right? If the only other choice is sucking the dick, then it's rape.
Exactly. Exactly. So, I mean... If what if Kanye said, it's a choice. Like, I would have preferred to die.
I hate that. Something about that implies a superiority to the Killmonger mentality. Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors who knew it was better to die than to live in bondage or live in chains, right? Like, there's something about that mentality that invalidates like the progression of black people to recognize this has happened to us. How now do we prepare future generations to build out of this and build to freedom?
And that's what he did not. That's where he missed that.
Everyone who makes that case always misses that because they don't think about it.
They don't think about it, and I 100% agree.
And that's where you just completely lose me.
Exactly, because it's like, dude, what they just because they're not in slavery and like they're living day to day doesn't mean that they're not playing the long game. They are playing. They're doing what they have to do day to day to ensure the safety of their family, their kids, and develop. You think they were just sitting there? They're milling over. How can we get out of this? How can we? When's our opportunity? It's not. I mean, it's not just like it's choosing to play the long game. I think is where Kanye is losing, and I think he just hasn't digested some of this stuff enough, and he hasn't like had conversations enough with people who are going to challenge this and push it back in order to like. And that's why I say I wanted him to have a discussion with other intellectuals who are not just.
I'm coming around to
because then when someone pushes back and be like, it is a choice. It's that or death. But look at it from this angle. And let's eliminate the fact that death is not a choice if you have kids and
I think my aversion to that originally was that I think one of the great joys of American society, especially, but just adulthood in general in this era of the world, is that like you can really pick out which categories of intellectuals you want to surround yourself with. And I don't want to discredit Kanye to say he hasn't surrounded himself with intellectuals. I think there's some very smart people around Kanye in the fashion and design worlds, in the music worlds. I think he himself is a musical fucking genius. You know what I mean? I think there are a lot of very smart people around him. But none of them are seemingly great communicators. Yeah. None of them are great researchers. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like that's what I feel like he's missing. And like I feel like a lot of that's missing now. I'm not saying like we have a fucking research team that backs our stories here for the podcast or anything like that. But I don't know. I feel like that's the thread he needs to get on next.
And I would, if especially you're gonna make statements like he's been making lately, and beginning to open up these boxes, which have a lot of different angles and it takes a lot more dissecting to just make a blanket statement. You have to. I mean, I even now, like especially to where culture is in the United States, is like I think it's so much more important to like look at every angle, not just look at like people who agree with you, but people who disagree with you. Have to listen to them, read them, and then see and decide which makes sense, align which things are consistent amongst the arguments, amongst the fact, and then draw a conclusion. And I don't think that Kanye, to your point, I think Kanye's having a conversation with certain people, and not having conversation with other people who may disagree with him. And I think it's necessary, and that's why I would love to see him talk to like other intellectuals, and see who some that maybe agree with him, some of the things, because there's definitely a lot of. I mean, the right wing is totally supporting Kanye right now because he's saying a lot of things that
I honestly support some of the shit he said in the Charlemagne interview. He talked at length about mental health. He talked at length about like understanding your own energies and your vibrations and like the world around you, and how you navigate that and how that recurs to you, and like a lot of that shit just people aren't in tune with, but really affects like your whole world. Yeah. Man.
And also, I think also the aspects to where the aspects of what some of the rights says about minorities in general, or left wing pandering to minorities and using like identity politics in order to
round up votes.
To round up votes, it almost put minorities in like I'm a victim, or like
you better vote first because we're the only ones who's
gonna help you. And I do agree with the right wing position, is that like no, we got to stop identifying to a certain extent of like minorities and if people position them in this mentality where they're victims, where it's like, 'cause in reality they're just doing that to pander votes. There's gonna be no help for you long term. I mean, you do have to struggle, and it's
the lesser of two evils, right? Like if you're gonna give me like a right wing congressman who tells me he hates fags and Chinamen, you're gonna give me like a left wing congressman who says, "Hey, I love money and I'm a capitalist and like I'm definitely trying to buy your vote, but like I'll make sure taxes don't go up for 3 years." Yeah. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, you suck too, but like, those are my options.
Yeah. But I think it's even more just like the hearing that shit consistently over a bunch of different platforms that mentally puts, a lot of minorities. And like, we're discriminated upon. We can't get ahead because of this. It's like, even if that is true, and in a lot of ways it is true, it's like, you gotta go out there and go get it, man, because ain't no one helping you. Right wing, left wings, no one's coming to save you.
I tell this to people often. I work in technology. I've worked in startups now off and on for 7 years or whatever. Most of them have been apps. Like, the number one thing I tell minority people in the race to get ahead and like trying to like get one up on white culture, get off the internet as much as possible. Yeah. Do you know what a commodity it is being able to talk to people in real life? Yeah. I read a study the other day. Cigna, the fucking health insurance company, the huge health insurance company, did a study. It was like 200,000 people in America. Mm-hmm. 1 in 3 people identify as like lonely, like they have no one to turn to, no one to talk to.
I can
Like people don't, you know what I mean? Like you work remote, like you work on the, you know what I mean? A lot of people just have nobody. Yeah. And specifically in our generation and the generations below us, it gets progressively worse the younger you are. And a lot of that obviously is correlated with spending so much time detached from other human beings. And it's like, dude, get out there and like talk to real people. It'll change your life and make you a lot more valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I say as somebody who spends a great deal of time on the internet.
Yeah, and I think there is a balance as someone who moved away from all his friends and family. I think there is an aspect of like where you need to be by yourself in order to like separate yourself from opinions and figure out who you are. But there is definitely like a need to have. I mean, I like even like sometimes I just spend too much time alone, whether it's just like a writing or just like, and I just need that interaction with people, and it's just totally. And I can tell once I get around other people that like, holy shit, like this is like. I need
like stretch yourself socially. Like,
yeah,
damn,
exactly.
Like, I've been like cooped up for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And and it does. It has a huge effect. And I can imagine a lot of people are lonely. A lot of people are depressed. A lot of people are not seeing. Everyone's so way more narcissistic, and everything's about them. As far as like you look at the social media culture, and you know that I can feel it. I think a lot of people are just like feeling pretty much alone by themselves and lost in this world. And a lot of people are looking for purpose and so forth. That I think that I wish more of our celebrities and our politicians would speak towards that. Like, look, like I would.
Why would that? That's the easiest way to get votes.
Yeah,
they disconnect you from everything that makes it feel real, and then pump you full of propaganda.
Yeah, man. And like
that's the cheat code to politics, right there.
Dude, if I was like, I always think about this, and this is a little bit off subject, but if I was Trump,
us going off subject, no way.
I know, seriously. If I was Trump, my main campaign would have been like, look. This is what I'm going to do. Like no one, like no one's coming to help. Like the price of living's going up. The wages are stagnant. This is what I'm going to do. If big businesses, like you're going to get tax cuts. Like obviously, like I'm a right wing guy. You guys are going to get tax cuts. But the only people who give tax cuts are the only companies that get these tax cuts if you reduce the working hours for Americans. So like whether you do a 4-day week or you do shorter hours, because if you guys aren't raising the wages and you want tax increases, you want benefits, you gotta do something for your people. And I'm just gonna trust American people to use this time to be more creative, to maybe you just want to work a second job doing an Uber or bartender, but like whatever, like, because I want you to have more freedom, or maybe you just want to spend it with your family and raise these kids, so we don't have more kids going out into society, robbing banks or whatever. Or we're just supporting the kids in order to do, the next generation to like be the next innovators and so forth. But
so we've touched on this previously. For anyone who's been listening for a while, I'll go back to like episode 2. But I know we kind of agree on like this future of joblessness, you know what I mean? Like the non-necessity of jobs.
Yeah.
And so I wonder like if that's the start of it, right? Like we just find ways to like, you can be employed quote unquote full time, but like, you're still going to be, you're making full time money, but you're working 3 or 4 days a week, and that becomes the new norm. Or you're working 30 hours a week or whatever that is. I've seen some companies have gone to 35. I know that's a thing in some places.
It is not. I think people still get done whatever they need to get done.
Yeah, I feel like that's also a part of creating like a more efficient culture. Like we do things a lot faster, more efficiently than we used to, obviously. And as that grows, like we've talked about, like the need for actual employment, falls pretty precipitously. I don't think we're going to be around to see it, but I do think you're probably right. We're going to see that drop at some point here in the near future. Yeah, so I mean, looking ahead, not quite sure what's going to happen, but there's a pretty good chance. I think there's going to be some drastic shift in kind of how we view employment. But that's our black hippie, conspiracy theory hole for the week, I suppose.
Yeah.
A couple other things I wanted to get to, I guess, briefly from this past week plus or so that we've been off. Did you catch the White House Correspondents' Dinner with Michelle Wolff?
I did.
Obviously, our resident comedian, I assume you saw that.
I did.
My feelings are very clear. I don't know where you stand on. That was the best White House Correspondents' Dinner I've ever seen.
I thought it was excellent. And I like I said before, I listened to both left and right wing media outlets, and they were for them to act like, oh, this was offensive, and dude, are you kidding me? Like, look,
they called Obama a nigga. During a White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Well, it was a black.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying
he said my nigga, right?
Right, but what I'm saying is if your issue is the provocative language and how offensive it was, anytime you say nigga to a room full of rich white people, that's you're pushing the limits.
Which he got I forget the name of the dude who did it.
He definitely got rash of shit.
He got, which I was like, as a comedian, I was like, I liked it. Yeah, it's like, why are we pretending like that isn't a thing?
Why are we pretending like that's not funny?
Well, yeah. And
why are we pretending like this isn't funny? Everybody in the room was laughing.
The Huckabee Sanders stuff is where she was criticizing her.
That's such bullshit.
Dude,
she's criticizing the fact that she's a lying bitch who has made a career out of telling non-truths to the American people and then burned the truth and created her eye makeup. Exactly. How is that a joke about her looks?
No, exactly. I think because she is unattractive, some people just automatically assume that was her. No,
I think if the people in the right wing don't know what a smoky eye is, don't realize it's a compliment.
Exactly. and on top of that, I think her set was amazing. Not everything hit, but in that room, that's a tough room. That is a tough.
I think everything hit at home. When I watched it, I was dying laughing.
Yeah, I was dying laughing, but there's a few jokes that didn't go over as well.
Yeah,
and she she moved forward, she slid through them. I thought it was a dope set in a tough room and a tough crowd, and she killed it. She's also
got a show coming up apparently, so this is the rollout of the century.
Of course, dude. She's on point now, and that's where you're supposed to be as a comedian. You guys invite comedians who are. Our job is to be dangerous, is to go in people's throat, and is not to give a shit. You need people in it.
As a comedy fan and not yet a comic, I get kind of perturbed, but I hear comics use that defense a lot. I don't necessarily agree with that. I forget who it was, but I heard some comic breaking this down, and it's the job of a comic is not to be provocative or dangerous or anything. The job is to make people laugh, is to be funny. You know what I mean? So good comics can do that while being provocative and dangerous. Yeah. And to be funny, sometimes you need to be provocative and dangerous. But if you don't know how to do that and be funny, then you're just an asshole.
I think, yes, I agree.
You can tell 1,000 rape jokes that aren't good.
Yes.
That just because you call yourself a comedian doesn't make you less of an asshole.
Well, I do think that culturally, yes, your job is to be funny, but there's also a cultural representation that has been you're playing the jester role, and jester has been a role through centuries of history, and the jester role was the only person who could be honest with the king. That's essentially the first stand-up comedian, and through that humor. So as this jester role has evolved to stand-up comedy, it is part of comedy. In order to tell the truth, to be provocative, to challenge ideals, whether it's satire or whether it is just the truth hidden in the joke. That is the position. Whether you decide as a comedian to fully embody that is the position of comedy in culture, and it's a necessary position in culture. And I feel like if you take that role serious, it's your job. in order to incorporate it, everything else is you're a hack, and all the people who make a difference in the culture embrace that your job is to challenge thing, is to say thing, whether it's satire, but to challenge ideal and push culture forward.
How do you feel about Seinfeld?
I appreciate what Seinfeld does. He is not my, and I've seen his stand up. He is not my cup of tea because he doesn't take risks. He makes people laugh. He can make the whole family laugh. I even like Gallic. What's the other real clean comedian? Jeff. Oh shit, I forget his name. But he does all clean material. But he still and it's family friendly. But he still drops in like stuff that like challenges norms. And
that's how I feel about Kevin Hart, honestly. I feel like Kevin Hart's like a really safe comedian for the most part, but like he still does his job of like you said, like pushing it a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't, and that's my biggest gripe with Kevin Hart if I have anything.
Yeah,
so,
no,
like,
I agree.
Dude, like say some shit that like makes people think. I mean, I think that's why people will always put Chappelle over him.
I guess that's what I'm saying. Is like I think. I'll never be able to dismiss a guys like Kevin Hart and Jerry Seinfeld, not to put them on the same plane, as like bad comics or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I mean. And I think they're equally as important to the culture. But I think if you ask comics to write comics, you're always going to put Carlin, Chappelle, Pryor, these guys over the Kevin Harts and Jerry Seinfeld in the world.
Yeah,
because there was something to what they were doing that was like, I'm not supposed to laugh at this, and you're making me laugh at it.
Exactly.
Whereas, like, hey, do you know the thing about the two guys and the girl and her?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah, I get it. It's funny.
Yeah, it's a difference between soul food, fast food, and Whole Foods. They all get their different, so there's necessities and placement for all of them, but. I'm either gonna be Whole Foods or Soul Food, dog.
Right. To your point about the gesture thing, just to put a bone in the Michelle Wolff bit, like I think that's what's startling about it more than anything.
Yeah,
it's like the jester is supposed to be the one who speaks truth to power. Mm-hmm. She's in a room full of all the power. She's invited here to be the jester, and she kills it.
Yeah,
and everybody got butthurt because they all got roasted.
Yeah,
and she just, I don't know. As someone who loves roast comedy, like I'm always that guy in the crowd. Like if you ask a crowd something, I always got an answer for you. You know what I mean? I'm always in on the bit, and so like I love getting roasted by good comics. You know what I mean? And she fucking killed. I don't know how people don't enjoy that.
No, and I think that's her job. Like if I did a corresponding dinner and everyone was happy. I'm upset because I didn't do my. I want to be like. I want the comedians to embrace me, and I want them to be like, "Holy shit! Like I can't believe he said that shit." I am being as offensive as humanly possible without like getting arrested or banned from everything.
That's the goal.
Yeah, and she did it perfectly. She attacked everyone, even the media. I mean, obviously,
but I guess like to your point, like the trick of being offensive while making you laugh at yourself is like that's the art.
Yeah,
it's not that she just went in and was offensive. Like everyone in the room laughed at everybody else when they were getting roasted. Yeah. Just by the end of the night, everybody realized that they got laughed at too, and they got upset about it. Yeah, because it's a bunch of overgrown children who didn't know how to handle themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. Cheers to her. Michelle Wolff killed it.
Yeah. Shout out to Michelle Wolff. If she's coming to Boston anytime soon,
she was just in Boston.
Was she?
Yeah.
Sad I missed that.
I was supposed to go to it, but
some fan you
are. I wasn't really as familiar with her until like.
She's one of my favorite. Like.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen her HBO, I think, or a Netflix special that she dropped. But,
I think it was Netflix. Yeah. I might be off on that. Did we talk about J. Cole already in his album?
No,
KOD?
We didn't.
Do you want to touch on that?
Do we want to debate this? I think it was one of the debate.
Yeah, we can debate this. Well, you tell me where you lie on it, and I can tell you if I can debate it or not.
I think J. Cole's album was meh.
Okay, I can definitely debate this.
It was solid, but as the position he's taken as like the hip hop dude of the new age, it's like, dude, come on, man. Like this is no one. Like I gave it a listen. Maybe I'll listen to like a couple, maybe one more time. But like it's done. It's average.
Really?
It's average.
All right, so the complaints I've always heard about Cole are he raps one way, his content all is about the same things, and he doesn't have enough features or like other producers.
I don't care about that. If the songs if the songs are hot, then like
you didn't think any of those songs were hot. You didn't think KOD banged.
It was okay.
You didn't think Motivate banged.
It was okay.
You didn't think Brackets was dope.
It was good.
1985 when he went after which
Lil
one's
Pump.
not dead? Pump, right?
Yeah, it was okay. It was all average. It was all above average.
Just for reference for this debate, who do you have above J. Cole? Because you said like he's your rappers guy of this generation. Who's above him for you?
Kendrick, Drake, Childish, and that
Childish as a rapper or just as an overall package?
Both. If Childish was to give us a full rap album,
you think it would be better than J. Cole's?
Easily be better than J. If this was with J. Cole, I haven't been impressed with J. Cole's J. Cole album since the one where he put it out where he did all the press in his old house.
Oh yeah. Was not Forest Hills Drive the shit right before?
Yeah,
I think
it was Forest Hills Drive.
Yeah,
I think that was the last. Was that the last one or the?
No, that was the last one. So
the previous one, the one before that, and that's it. Everything else is. I've always just.
Everybody seems to be okay. So here's
disappointed.
People stay being lukewarm on J. Cole. This is what I don't understand. Are the beats not fire? Like, do people really listen to those beats and go like I get that there's a lot of them. He's got a sound. I think he varied his sound up, but still kept it J. Cole. I think part of the thing people forget, people always like, J. Cole's got one sound. Like, if you're from a place that's not on the map and you're trying to put your place on the map, you need to have a sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody else coming out of North Carolina, dog. Like, J. Cole's trying to put his whole fucking state on. Like, if you're from Atlanta, you can experiment a bit. You're from LA, you from New York, you can experiment a little bit. If you're from someplace like Chicago's got a sound, nigga. Like, you gotta sound like Chicago if you want to come out of Chicago. And Chicago's got rappers on rappers on rappers.
Yeah. Oh, Chance.
Philly.
Yeah, Chance's album was way better than J. Cole's album.
Oof.
Whole different level.
Whole different
now,
music.
Yes, you had to add Ye and but are they really? I mean, there's still like a sample base. Almost because although Chance is from Chicago, it did have a little soul like vibe to it, churchy vibe
they were
to
gospel-y.
it. Yeah, it was on a whole nother level of production of just good song of balance between like songs that will pop from the barbecue to the club. A Chance album and a J. Cole album drops on the same day. Chance is murking J. Cole.
So
based on these last two albums.
I have a whole theory that like, and I subscribe to this and I understand this. Like, my bias is this: like, if it doesn't pass the car test, I don't rock with it because that's why I listen to 85% music. There's 99% of situations I'm driving, I do never want to listen to Chance the Rapper.
Are you kidding me? His last album?
Nothing on that is driving music to me.
Are you kidding me?
Nah,
dude, that is summertime, windows down. Dude, same drugs.
Maybe if I'm down the Cape or something, but like, I live in the city now. Like, when I'm driving, like, I need bangers, bro.
Nah, dude, that Chance, dude, I'm still banging that Chance, and that's
there's a couple Chance tracks I like. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Chance the Rapper, but like, it's just not car music. And like, if I can't listen to it in the car, then it gets very few spins in my rotation. That was my issue with Childish's last project. That just wasn't that's not a car record.
I can agree. I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
You know what I mean? It's like that was a beautiful project. I've listened to it like 7 times in my life.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's inconsistent because there's there's some car records on there. Like Terrified is a dope car. Like that's anytime playing that. Yeah, I didn't appreciate it as much until the Grammy performance. And then, and also the lead single,
So, I'm happy you can't remember because you're making my point for me, which is this. This is why I love this album. There's like 3 or 4 tracks off this album I can bang in the car, 2 or 3 that I bang in the gym, a couple of that bang when I'm in my fields, I'm in my bag a little bit, I'm fucking smoking a cigarette in the fucking back deck, pondering my life and shit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of variance here for somebody who supposedly sounds the same all the time. he takes on a few different characters, a few different voices.
Yeah.
He gets super introspective on brackets when he's talking about the money and how it all breaks down, how he wants to see where his money's going and governmental change. There's a lot of shit going on in that record, and I don't know how people can listen to all that and they're like, it's cool, I guess.
It didn't do it for me. I mean, he didn't everything that he did in the album. You can get it better for someone else. Like the money shit, the taxes shit he was talking about. Yeah. You know, J 444 did it better.
Differently. I don't know about better.
Oh, definitely better.
No, see, I think they're just reaching different people.
I was just
J. Cole's trying to reach people who make 100,000. Jay-Z's trying to reach people who trying to make 100,000.
I mean, I just was not impressed. I mean, lyrically, production wise, the status he is in music and hip hop and what we got from him, I just thought it was
all right. So this
the same shit he could have came out. This is a first. This felt like a debut album.
Ouch.
Yeah. I wasn't impressed.
What I would leave you with is this then is it seems to me everybody's argument against J. Cole at every point in his career has boiled down to they just think he's overrated a little bit. Like if J. Cole conventionally was put into that next tier of rappers, if J. Cole was considered a peer of Big Sean instead of Kendrick Lamar, everybody would think J. Cole is nice.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I do think he's. Honestly,
I feel that way kind of about Big Sean, to be honest. Big Sean's better than that bracket, and he shines in that bracket.
I don't think. I have. I think J. Cole is dope. I don't think J. Cole lives up to his potential, and so that's my. And
do you think he wants to? I feel like that's kind of his brand now.
No, I think he does. I just don't think he. I think he does a lot of things dolo with his team, and although that you get a soulful, you get authentic, but it's a different level of production from him and Chance, a guy with Chance who works with Ye and brings in a bunch of different people. It sounds like a different level of artist. It sounds like a mixtape.
Can I flip your own view on you a bit?
Yeah, please.
I think the benefit of doing it J. Cole's way is it's going to take a while, right? And there's a lot of, and I know J. Cole stands out there always saying people just don't get it yet, man. People are going to come. It's I don't think that people don't get it yet. I don't think people have heard enough variance in sound over his generation to understand how truly good it is. One of the things I like best about J. Cole's music is it really does hold up. I listen to old J. Cole all the time. And every one of his records he puts out, there's at least a couple tracks on I can go back to anytime. It doesn't really fade. And I think J. Cole's trying to do it this independent, I'm doing it my way with my team, and that just takes a while. But we've seen that pay off. And eventually I think he'll make the right merges where they're necessary. Gambino did this, right? We just talked about it was a long window where he should have been on, and then eventually now the culture's catching up. I think eventually, I don't think it's now, but I think eventually J. Cole will be recognized better than he is.
I disagree. I think that, we were wrong. Okay, so Forest Hill Drive was a dope album that I love from his.
2014 Forest Hill Drive.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That was the one that was and then after that it was For Your Eyes Only, and then now this new For Your Eyes Only was one listen, and then I didn't listen to it again. And this one I think is going to be the same. I think Forest Hill Drive, that will be one of those albums that
Get Off My Dick is one of the slappest records of all time.
I think that's J. Cole at his finest, and that's him executing a whole project the way he should at his potential. And I think this last couple is just I don't think anyone. I'm just not going to listen to him next month.
Jesus.
And I don't think anyone is. They're going to just be waiting for a Kendrick to drop.
All right, we'll save that take then because we'll get to that in our 5 random things at the end. Last thing I wanted to touch on is this Britt McHenry thing. Have you seen this?
No, I'm not familiar.
Let me break this down for our listeners real quick. Have you seen the shit going on with the Redskins cheerleaders?
Where they were forced to pose nude?
So
they had to sign a contract that they would pose nude or some shit like that?
They got flown to Costa Rica for a calendar shoot.
Uh-huh.
The team flew out a bunch of execs and sponsors and shit, and then gave them access to watch the photo shoot, which was partially topless, watch these girls change, all of these things. As if that's not bad enough already. After said photo shoot, they then asked specific members of the cheerleading squad that was flown to Costa Rica for a calendar shoot to escort, like, essentially executives from sponsors to a nightclub that they had bought out. There was nobody else in the nightclub but, like, team execs and sponsored execs, and then cheerleaders.
Yeah.
On top of that, they weren't paid for the trip.
Wow.
On top of that, they had their passports confiscated when they got to Costa Rica by the team, not by, like, the government.
Yeah.
On top of that, while they were out, Costa Rican police stopped them on suspicion of them having hired prostitutes.
Wow.
That's how clearly this pimping situation is going. So everybody's clear. Britt McHenry essentially tweeted out.
What's her?
So Britt McHenry was a reporter for ESPN. She recently got let go by ESPN, and we're going to get to that in a second. So this is earlier in the week. She tweets out. Essentially what boiled down to what do you expect if you get paid to shake your ass in like a half-naked outfit for male entertainment every Sunday, then you should expect to be treated like this, was essentially what that boiled down to. That was pretty trash. Twitter came for her, and that was pretty bad look.
Yeah.
The very next day, like I said, she's been fired from ESPN. She's on Twitter and tweets out that she was fired from ESPN for being white and making too much money. In fact, they're the first to go.
Wow.
What a plight it must be to be young, blonde, pretty, and on TV. There's a great video of her cussing out like a tow yard employee that like led to her.
Oh, no, I saw that. Yeah.
So that's that same chick. So she's doing great now. She's working for like a Fox News media outlet in Florida somewhere.
Good for her.
But yeah, that's just our fucking moron of the week. We gotta name that segment at some point, but that was just disheartening that people are that dumb.
Yeah, I mean,
for the record,
this is a lot of dumb people. I mean, the whole Reggae organization, that's atrocious. Like, when I heard that they were like, my buddy sent me the article about them like signing that they would post nude. I was like, there's no way this is happening. And then it was like, no, this already happened, Chris.
Yeah, this was 2015.
I was like, dude, that's unbelievable. Like it was 2015.
2015 or 14.
Okay, so that's
2016.
I was like, for some organization to do that in the middle of this Me Too moment sounds ridiculous. That whole organization is trash for that.
Absolute trash.
I don't even. If you don't understand how trash that is to put these young girls in that position, that they're uncomfortable with, and pretty much pimp them out. I wonder, have there been any evidence of them actually sleeping with some?
So far, no reports of anyone exchanging cash for sexual favors, but that's very much TBD.
I don't know how you can even defend that.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't know how you defend that as a attractive 20-something-year-old woman.
Yeah,
like that, the tone deafness of that.
Yeah,
I mean, not for nothing.
Speaking of Michelle Wolff saying, "What's the equivalent to Aqua Time for women?" Yeah, right. That would fit.
I believe Britt McHenry is what they call Cousin Tommy.
Yeah. That would be a great label for her. That's trash.
So fuck Britt McHenry is pretty much the end result of that. Hope you have a great, successful career.
And the Redskins, whoever planned that should be fired, and the organization should be sued.
They should move and rename the team. Is what the Redskins should do. They should sell the team, move the team.
Cleveland Indians had on, but you know.
But you rock the C and not the Wahoo, and I appreciate that.
I rock both actually, but
I thought you were tired of the Wahoo. I haven't seen it out in a while.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
I feel like that you gotta put that one in the rafters.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Maybe just work with the throwback.
I'm a walking contradiction. Well done. As in everyone is.
Yeah, I mean, we're all wearing Nikes, right? Like, who the fuck am I kidding? Sweatshop sneakers. Although I bought these bitches for $18, so I don't feel that bad. That's about market rate.
That's a yearly salary for who made it.
Yeah, exactly. I am a job creator, I believe, is how the right wing likes to pose that. So we're going to get out of here. Our 5 random things. Things going to make or break the summer. One of the things we already touched on. I'm curious what you think. Well, I guess I know how you think now. J. Cole's tour this summer. Trash, dope.
I think it's going to be... I mean, he's performing if he performs stuff from this album and the previous album is going to be... I wouldn't pay to see it. I mean, if you're a fan of his... But that doesn't make or break anything for me. I'm not going to see it.
Fair. I'm a fan
Young
of
Thug's on it, which I'm not a fan of Young Thug either. But
I think it would be a fun tour, but I'm not paying whatever those ticket prices are. Childish Gambino's tour, however, I will probably try to find a way to do that because that looks fun.
And that goes into fall, so that's gonna have the fall Childish Gambino alone should be like the summer. I
feel like he's gonna own the summer
between
the album, the tour,
the solo
Star Wars,
and Atlanta's still going through. Atlanta's actually been kind of weak this year, but still.
See, people have been telling me this season been great. I haven't caught it. I still got to finish season 1. I tapped out episode 6 because timing wise.
First episode was fire.
Of episode 2?
Season 2. Yeah, of season 2. It had Cat Williams in it. You remember why Cat Williams is a genius, genius comedian actor. Bring back Cat Williams. Yeah, but that's a
right after he's done committing felonies.
Yeah, I don't care, man. But this season, besides that episode, it's been kind of hit or miss. But I've still been watching religiously. I support Childish.
So J. Cole
he's popping this
wavering
summer.
down. Childish Gambino mostly all the way up.
All right,
Multiple thumbs up.
Multiple thumbs up.
Multiple thumbs up.
Yeah.
Rihanna's Reggae album coming this summer.
It will be lit. It will have one hit on there that will be lit for the club all summer. It will have the girls wearing halter tops and sundresses and
does this go to a full thumb if she releases? Not full thumb. If she releases the Fendi lingerie line, which is also
that's full thumb.
Because then
girls
in the club with the Fendi on.
Compound effect of that
to the new Rihanna Reggae.
Yeah. She got it lit.
Yeah, we might have to take a vacation this summer.
Yeah.
So one thumb up for Rihanna.
My
we can get both
thumbs
up if she wants.
I'm in Miami. Holla at me a whole week.
Right? Yo, Jets, that's good. Drake album's supposed to come this summer.
Drake, that's gonna be full thumbs up.
Really? I'm lukewarm.
Here's the thing.
I do think Drake's going back to full Drake mode, making like bangers for women, and I think that's what he does best. And that's not the Drake I want.
One, I think that same thing with Rihanna. I'm sketchy about Drake albums the same way I am J. Cole. He always, but he will have at least 2 bangers on there that will have the summer popping.
I feel like he takes over the summer on 2 to 4 records, and then the other 16 on the project are trash.
Exactly, but all you need from Drake is those two songs to get girls out there. So I gotta give him 2 thumbs.
So I'm gonna give him 2 clicks of a thumb. We're gonna go 2 clicks is all I'm giving.
Right, I'll give him
3 singles.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's for you, Drake.
Kanye's albums is. Hey, that's gonna be. That's gonna be a thumbs up and a thumbs down. It's got to be because one, he's gonna.
It's a walking contradiction.
He's gonna have bangers. He is still Kanye. He's gonna have bangers. He's gonna have the club lit. He's gonna have some fire. The bad
Kanye puts out music I don't even want to like, and it's good.
Exactly, but the bad thing is he's gonna be all over the place. He's gonna be saying stupid shit, but he's gonna have some fire. Yeezy's probably coming out. He's got. Crazy man, but you gotta respect him. One thumb up, one thumb down.
Does this change at all if he announces a presidential run this summer?
Oh, he's gonna be. That's not gonna last 2 seconds. He can announce whatever he wants. The album's gonna be fire. He's gonna get things popping. He's gonna be one of the things that makes the summer. But
last
you gotta
one,
listen to it.
Return of Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj drops on June 23rd, I think. She's already got some singles out.
Yeah.
Nicki v. Cardi is back. Nicki in the summertime.
Yeah, I think that's. I'm gonna have to give it to the same.
I'm not even counting.
She'll have one popping single that'll get the girls dancing, but then you gotta hear Nicki Minaj talk. and be I'm slowly as much as I talk some stuff about aspects of Cardi B's career, like Cardi B's popping. Like I like seeing her. I like her energy, and
I love her energy.
It feels fun. It doesn't feel so diva-ish as which I respect the diva.
Can I tell you exactly where I knew I was done with Nicki Minaj? It happened this morning. I was at the gym. I looked up, and there's an Iggy Azalea video playing. Mm-hmm. And from a distance, I didn't have my glasses on. Mm-hmm. I looked up and I said, "Is that Nicki Minaj?"
Oh, wow. And
I realized Nicki Minaj has entered that realm of I wear so much makeup and my body is so plastic that we all look the same. Like the Kardashian, the Iggy Azalea, the Nicki Minaj. And I was like, you look the same. You don't sound that different. Like, you still got bars, and I'll still listen and see what's coming. But, like, I'm pretty off it.
Yeah, I'll give her one.
Not that I was ever really on board.
I'll give her one hit to have the club popping. Hopefully, she has some features with Drake.
She gonna get like a Memorial Day weekend or the 4th of July or something.
I think a couple honorable mentions is GSP versus Nate Diaz fight, and this summer, and hopefully we get a Conor a Conor McGregor fight by the end of the summer.
Supposedly, maybe Conor and Floyd might be this summer. I would make this summer.
I think
I'd be thumbs up on that.
I think I want Khabib. I want Conor versus Khabib. So
yeah. Listen, I'm a trash fight fan. I want the big picture thing that I can have a bunch of people over for and get drunk to. Conor people would be good, but like I'd rather see him.
And we may see Shannon the Cannon Bridge fight this summer too. I'm not sure when they're talking about that.
You may see Chris Thomas drop a stand-up special this summer.
I do.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I wish.
I'm a film. It's gonna be lit. Any other things for the summer you want to touch on before we get out of here?
Oh, man, I think that's it, man. Have fun, man.
All right, so that's episode 33. Catch us anywhere you want to find us. It's at Late2Work on pretty much everything. At @_Late2Work. If you want to find us on Twitter, it's all going to be here below because he's really good at post production. I'm just good at talking about things. You can find me
below average at post production.
That's probably true, but I'm also hype beast, so hype my team. That's about everything I got. Oh, write us, subscribers, comment, emails. Check out the YouTube. Check out the videos. If you're more of a Facebook person, you can just hit the watch video button on our Facebook page. I'll grab your video right there, so you don't have to go anywhere. I try to make things easy for you people. Come out, be supportive. Late2Work merch coming soon, and Instagram coming soon.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. And until then, don't be a dickhead.
Don't be a dick.
Really go, then the axes for some change. Then the axes that we know who had the cocaine. I'm losing my mind, trying to figure out how did I inherit so much pain. I drink a lot of alcohol, problems with the law, but I have done better or the same. Daddy never tried. Okay.